officer. Double check everything's up and running, and we'll bibbity bobbity boo get right through. Alright. And I am keeping an eye on chat, and I'll make sure you guys know what musics we are and are not playing, so you guys get an idea. I think today we're going to start off in the playlist called I'll do this one. Start a radio. Alright, so it's done a little bit. I am eyeing on chat, so stop by, say hi. And we're gonna start the epic grind that is this game, so. Yep, right through. There we go. GG. 1 second.
So if I stand in front of a speeding car, would you tell me who you are, what you like, what's on your mind? If I get it right, our love for no one knows. And this secret's all that we've got so far. The demons in the
Give me
dark
1 second.
lie again, play pretend like it never ends. This way no one has to know. Even a half smile would help slow down the time. If I could call you half mine, maybe this is the safest way to go. We're singing hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya. This is the safest way to go, nobody gets hurt. We're singing hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya. You go back to him and then I'll go back to her. So if I stand in front of a speeding car,
Is that the only one?
give you a little heart, say the word, I'll do it to
Oh,
you.
no one else. Which is...
Cause this secret's all that we've got so far. The demons in the dark lie again, play pretend like it never
Ah, we gotta go talk to him first. We're gonna do one-upmanship and then head down to Jenny Bay and we'll come back. Advertise my secret, I don't really need it. I know you can feel this, so advertise my secret. I don't really need it. I know you can feel this, so advertise my secret.
Tonight the monsters in my head are screaming so damn loud, but I built walls so high so they never even make a sound. It's a mask, it's a lie, it's the only home I've ever known. 'Cause being who I really am has only left me more alone. I am not okay, and I need you to see it. I have so much to say, and no one to hear it. The reason I keep quiet with so much at stake, I always feel like a bird and let its silence me. You'll never understand why it's so hard to say I'm not okay. I wish I had a scar, had a bruise on the surface, any kind of clue that everything I feel is more than just some sad excuse. My life's invisible abuse, I'm either judged or have to hide. The only symptom you can see is I don't wanna be alive. I am not okay, and I need you to see it. I have so much to say, and no one to hear it. The reason I keep quiet with so much at stake, I always feel like a bird and let it silence me. You'll never understand why it's so hard to say. I never have the words, I can't explain this hell. But what if it kills me if I keep it to myself, to myself? I am not okay, and I need you to see it. I have so much to say, and no one to hear it. I'm not okay, I'm not okay, I'm never safe. It's not a phase. If I finally break, will you still stay? Tonight the monsters in my head are screaming so damn loud.
Falling too fast to prepare for this. Tripping in the world could be dangerous. Everybody circling as vultures. Negative, nepotist. Everybody waiting for the fall of man. Everybody praying for the end of times. Everybody hoping they could be the one. I was born to run, I was born for this. Whip, whip, run me like a racehorse. Pull me like a ripcord. Break me down and build me up. I wanna be the slip, slip. Word upon your lip, lip. Rather that you rip, rip. Break me down and build me up. Whatever it takes. Feeling miserable, always hanging on to the visual. I wanna be invisible, looking at my years like I'm martyrdom. Everybody needs to be a part of them. Never be enough on the prodigal son. I was born to run, I was born for this. Whip, whip, run me like a racehorse. Pull me like a ripcord. Break me down and build me up. I wanna be the slip, slip. Word upon your lip, lip. Rather that you rip, rip. Break me down and build me up. Whatever it takes.
There we go, water line.
Hypothetical, working on something that I'm proud of. Out of the box, an epoxy to the world. And the vision is lost, I'm an apostrophe. I'm just a symbol to remind you that there's more to see. I'm just a product of the system of catastrophe. And yet a masterpiece, and yet I'm half diseased. And when I am deceased, at least I go down to the grave and die happily. And leave the body of my soul to be a part of me.
Yeehaw! Getting the fuck out of here. Okay. That's a belt.
I'll do what it takes.
Alright, now that we've done all of them, before we do that, we're gonna run here. Get your levels first.
Better back down, you're in my domain. Got the whole crowd screaming out our name. It's a blowout.
It's a song. I thought it was. I do like this song.
Before you know it, why you shaking? We're a dynasty in the making. We're the royalty. Now we're breaking down the enemy. Move over. For the soldiers. Take a swing, I can take a hit. If we die, it's fine. We live for this. It's all for this.
Yeah.
We're gonna stand on top with our hands in the sky. Gonna raise our cup to the stadium lights. For the glory, for the glory. We celebrate with the city tonight. Hear the hometown cheer, it's the ultimate high. For the glory, we do it for the glory. Yeah, we've waited for our time to come, calculated everything we've done, we've upgraded. Now you can't outrun a champion. Now you're facing what? Can you hear them? Yeah, it's all for us. You believe them? Yeah, it's serious. Hear the siren. We're victorious. I'm telling you. Can I get a hell yeah? Take a swing, I can take a hit. If we die, it's fine, we live for this. It's all for this. We're gonna stand on top with our hands in the sky. Gonna raise our cup to the stadium lights. For the glory, for the glory. We celebrate with the city tonight. Hear the hometown cheer, it's the ultimate high. For the glory, we do it for the glory. Up from the ashes, the cradle to the grave.
fortune. Gotta walk through the fire for what's important. And the warrior's blood through your veins is coursing. Kill for hire, soldier of fortune. The whole world's watching every move. Take your shot, don't act a fool. All you got and all you ever need is one bullet in the chamber. Brain needs to take your aim. Ain't nobody gonna save you. So what you gonna do? One bullet in the chamber. Brain needs to take your aim. Ain't nobody gonna save you. So what you gonna do? Do or die, you're a mercenary. One of a kind that you learn to carry. Go and make them proud, do what's necessary. Oh no, do or die, you're a mercenary.
Ah, motherfudger.
Watching every move, take your shot, don't act the fool.
Too good. It was too good. Come here, buddy. I just want to give you a stabbing hug. Shanktastic. Gentlemen, shall we? Bam! Woo! Kick this dude's butt. Excuse me, gentlemen. Have you not heard? The French lost. Thank you. Stop. Hey. Alright. As much as I like this music, we need something with a little bit more. Let's do something with a kick. My super mix. Why not? Why'd you look at that? Interesting. Yeah, I gotta put that one on there now. I have two moves, poke and swipe, and both of them suck. Oh, and shoot. Kill him. It took 2 entire boarding crews to kill, like, my dudes. My homie. You boned. Bam! Battle's over. GG. Ah! Hey, hello. Don't mind if I do. I see. The battle begins. Let go of everything you fear inside. All you do is let the fear decide whether it love you or if it will just discover. Close your eyes to see if you're alive. You got the dark inside of you. Now, I know I could take this battle, but to be very honest, I'ma cheat sheet this. This guy. Yes, sir. Letter delivered. So now, Fort Fleet Blast. A little bit more even. Wu Tag. Always take the ass shot if you can get it. I'll rip into you. Boom. Hey, buddy. Yikes. Measured. Again. Nice. Oh shoot, there's one right in front of me. If you've got questions, comments, and or concerns while this is going live and not on the replay, throw them down. And if you are watching the replay, throw a comment down below. I will get to it. I will answer. I have no problem with it, especially with in-game tactics. Why I do certain things the way I do. And I have no problem and plenty of time to explain it. So, if you are enjoying what you're seeing and enjoying what's going on, you know, keep watching and support the artists that you hear, support the game. I mean, I'd rather you play the game than watch me, to be very fair, but, you know, enjoy, it's all entertainment purposes. So, alright, let's get back to it. No password means no entry. Jolly green or jolly. You know what? Insert insult here, and I'm just gonna kill you now. Ah. Damn it. Just gonna catch that wind. Caught it. Get a little dig this. Oh, damn. Oh, shoot. Ah, okay, so run 2 blockades at Georgetown and then run down to Jenny Bay. Let's just run down to Jenny Bay. Oh, yeah, hey, yo. Now that I'm thinking about it. Totally forgot about the do this. Give me a second. Yeah, there's that. Beep. One second. Sorry, I do apologize. Rocking it out with the music, tell you what though. Alright. Do love me some music, but for now we're just gonna do this because I don't want to accused of being radio. Yes. Alright, now, newbies have been helped. Panic. Good day, sir. Or morning.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. What's up, dude?
Not much, just streaming, helping the noobs. So, you know, literally the usual.
There you go.
Ooh. Okay. This is taking me way longer than it should.
I'm doing clicky missions at PAP right now.
Nice. I'm in the middle of Folly of a Man.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah, it's an easy mission. Just a little bit of a time constraint. Because I'm watching my other screen as well, talking in SOC and everything.
I'm dual boxing these missions.
Not
that I need to, but
it comes in handy sometimes, especially on some of them little more difficult missions. Alright, now I'm gonna get jumped by. There it is. So I had it is confirmed with Folly of a Man that if you die in it, you lose the mission, so you can't complete it. Yep.
I don't think I've ever died in that mission before.
Yep. I had one of my players die in it. Now mind you, he was like 3 levels too short to be able to play at it, but.
I gotcha.
Yeah, wasn't experienced enough, ran into it. I said, watch out, you're gonna be jumped by murder kitties. It was my sister, and she's like, no, I won't. She got jumped by murder kitties and killed by murder kitties. And I was like, warned you.
You know what I haven't done since the old days? Fucking Red Tide.
That
It's
mission,
such a stupid mission.
it's an easy way to level up. Like, if you've got, like... So if you've got, like, 2 decent level, like, 50s, right? Or even 2 decent, like, 30s, mid-30s. Like, Hawk, you could do it, but back in the day, it was, like, the Minerva, Athena, Stralslands could do it. And you had 3 of them who were just pretty much corralling all of the bad guys, and keeping them from getting to their destination, while the 3 actual on levels would go, the actual low levels would actually go and help around the fort and do all the fort stuff, and then they'd come and join you after the fact. And so, yeah.
Well, I remember groups popping for that all the time back in the day, because that was, I don't even know, like, people didn't even really care to level. Like, so many people just did it once and then they were done with it, which is fine, because it was really boring anyway.
It is, yeah, it can definitely be a tiresome, boring mission, but it is a really good mission to help, like if you've got a whole bunch of newbies, instead of throwing them in a fleet, or you can't really risk a fleet, like you don't have the ships to risk at a fleet, you can take them and do Red Tide a couple of times, and yeah, it won't.
Nobody's been teaching everyone to be afraid of fleets. They're so easy, man. Just line down the middle, but nobody like cares. Because in my Prince and CMC, I can go straight down the middle and elite 8x and still be fine.
Yeah, but
So
you
I don't
also
know
have
why
the
everyone-
gear to compensate. That's
It's a Prince and a CMC, and I get it, but the people who are chickening out are in like invents.
well, yeah. The events is kind of iffy. I've lost an event
Amazing
going.
ship.
It is, but it's also a tub, and if you don't stop at the right time and you don't plan your shots correctly, even those 32-pounders can quickly be overrun. It is set up. It is, and I'm not justifying that it can't be done, and I'm not saying that it isn't easily done. I'm just stating, most of the people that are losing these invincibles and having that fear is because they kind of jumped the gap. They weren't ready for the ship that they are now in, and now that they're in it, they don't 100% understand how to use it correctly.
Yeah, I understand that, and that's pretty much correct. They're not using them right, and when they do fleet alone, they're like kiting regular 8-packs. Like, no, dude. No.
Yeah.
Not at all. Not in an Invince. You should melt the fuck out of them.
Right.
As soon as you pull up to the fight, you're already fighting a 6-pack because the first 2 abandoned.
Right. See,
So,
like, that's what it's building the confidence in these players that's been torn away.
well, I don't know about torn away, but they're definitely coming back and not getting the right. I don't want to call it mentorship, but they're not playing with the right people that show them what to do. Because as soon as I showed a couple people what to do, they were just like, "Oh yeah, we are a little heavy to be pussying out, huh?"
Yeah.
Started doing the right thing finally.
Get your ass down that middle, man. You're a floating fortress. Everyone else moves around you, not that. You know what I'm like?
Yeah.
Come on, get your fucking ass moving. Like, you move, they don't move, and if it doesn't move, push it out of the way. Cause guess who's bigger?
Actually, I don't even move. I just pull up. Cause the way that I was taught back in the day, and I remember this, just because of the flashbacks from doing fleeting now, is you go up, you pull up, and as soon as you're close to the first 2 ships, but they're not in the front 2 ships in the fleet, but they're not quite in firing arc, you drop your sails and let all of them sail around you. And in the process,
gotta make sure you have 100% control of the wind, though. See, and most of these guys don't remember that you have to hit the wind correctly.
I mean, there's a bit of play with that. It's not like it needs to be perfect, though. It just needs to be good enough.
Yeah, yeah.
To get a split, which is all anybody cares about. And it can be a quarter to stern or something and still get a good split.
I'm not saying it can't. I'm just saying, most of these players that we're talking about, they're not experienced enough to know how to compensate for that. They should. I'm not saying that they shouldn't. Like, I'm not saying that they should not know how to do this. But most of them don't.
I mean, in the other hand, though, I'm running quadruple map tables, so anybody who fucks up, like, in actuality, I don't care, because I know I'm gonna live and get phenomenal loot.
Right.
So,
right.
And if I've got no armor mods and I'm taking basically no damage, there are not a lot of excuses.
Right. Okay. That. Come to me. That is a little irritating. People ask for like, and no, I want to emphasize it's not the helping people that I get irritated with, right? It's, people come, they ask me for stuff, I give them what I can, where I can, how I can, and then, like, I give them, and people, like, they hesitate, or they're like, oh, this isn't exactly what I wanted. And I'm like, well, if you wanted something in specific, go buy it. This is what I could give you because you asked for help. Like, beggars cannot be choosers.
Well, whenever people get help from me, if they do, they, like, for, like, outfittings, they get, like, all the shit I'm not gonna use. I'm not handing out fucking Cantonese or efficient powder rooms. I need those.
Right, right. Oh. Cool. This is gonna suck. 1,400 yards with 22% masts.
Nice.
Yep. Mast brace rough. Activate.
Why do you have shitty masks?
I allowed them to get torn to shreds. So I could take kill shots.
Are you PvPing? What are you doing?
Doing missions. Leveling up. It's cosmic adventure. Well, more cosmic research.
Gotcha.
Step by step of, I just did all of finished up the rest of Jenny Bay, which is the head of the brute,
I remember somewhat the missions, but when I came back this time, I skipped all of them.
Uh-huh.
Because I don't want to fucking go through the grind again. The fuck?
Well, you can
remember
skip the
that
grind,
sucking.
just do the missions. You can ignore the grind most of the time. I just
The
get lost in the
missions
missions.
are the grind.
Nah, not really. Grind
It's
is
part
more
of it.
the fleet.
My version of grind is doing something that's repetitive over and over again. And that's missions, because they're all made on the same templates. So they're basically the same thing with minor deviations.
That's pretty much PvP.
No, every fight's a little bit different.
Every
Especially when
mission's
you're
a
up
little
against-
bit different.
Especially when you're going up against somebody that knows what they're doing. Every fight's usually pretty different and fun. Because it's a lot harder than NPCs, right? So...
Tell that to the missions in Caracas.
You talking about bays?
Yeah. Or besieged.
Just like a
or Island
3 people
Harbor.
thing for
Yeah.
bays. Gotta have a person leading them away, and then a couple guys killing the main guy.
Yeah. That have supercharged vessels.
Well, yeah, but you're not worried about all the ads. You're just worried about the big guy.
Well, no. I'm talking about to take on the big guy. Big guy, remember? The big guy's hits way harder than he needs to, or he should.
Yeah, I know that. But it's like a little bit of a stern camping situation. I mean...
Yeah, if you can get him locked into
not-
the wind. There are now. I'm not not saying that you can't, but there are situations where you can't. You know what I mean? Where the only option is to stick on that broadside and hope to God that this is gonna hurt.
More than 3 people is obviously ideal, but
Yeah.
I was just saying if you needed the min to accomplish...
Yeah,
the
yeah.
mission, it's 3 people.
3 bare minimum, which is you cannot say about besieged Tortuga.
You can do 3 with whatchamacallit. commissions.
With the which
If you're
ones?
doing Fisto, at least you can do you can use commissions if you want to complete it with less people.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, you complete any of them with commissions,
Except
but
for
Fisto takes
the,
4.
Except for the fucking the ship mission. You can't do that with commissions.
Yeah, that one's brutal. I remember jumping into that for the first time, not knowing, none of us had done it, so we just completed the story. We were role playing back when role play was big. So, first experience with it, role play our way through it. So we're ready to take on the dreaded Saint. We chase him out there, and you know we've got like 4 frigates, a third rate, and this is right after the Poseidon. So I think we had a Poseidon with us. So we're sitting there, and we start our normal shenanigans, preparing to run through this battle, and then they start hitting us, and then more come. And then more come. And before we know it, we've burned through like 25. 2 of the players are now down. It's like, oh my god. And we all ended up dying. It was dreadful. Like, if you do not know what you're doing, or at least have ships to compensate for the amount of ships that will be thrown at you,
There's no compensation for that because the ships are factually unlimited. You can't win. You just have to beat the boss before the second waterfall, or you're fucked.
Yeah, and see, and we didn't know that, and it took forever to figure out that all you had to really do was chase down, like, have one dude in a frigate, race ahead, nail him, and slow him down for like a third rate. And we always recommended third rates, like Wendell's and eventually the Centurion when it came out, to run through that. You know, person in an HH.
So long as you can get, no, obviously I don't have much experience on the NAT side anymore because I forgot everything about it, but on the pirate side and on the NAT side, you just, you know, cut shroud or deter pursuit or whatever, and you can get them slowed down pretty fucking good. But
yeah,
you want to kill them in that bay between the 2 waterfalls, the first and second one. Pretty fucking easy if you at least have one person that can tell people what to do.
Well, yeah, but you're talking about, you know, nobody had ever done it at that point. Going through it for the very first time, everybody was still trying to figure out, like, tips and tricks. Like, bays was brand new, dude. Like, it was the new shiny toy. You know, nobody had ever beaten it, so we weren't trying to be the first to beat it. We just wanted to experience it, and one of our other guys had gotten to run through, so we learned a couple of tips and tricks when it came to Fisto, you know, like where you can stack everybody in the corner before that became no longer became a thing, to get rid of the waves.
You're still supposed to stack.
Are you still supposed to stack?
Yeah, you're still supposed to stack them for certain, especially Fisto, because
yeah, the waves.
That just helps to
everybody can hit everything in
them.
front of. Yeah, it literally means everybody can hit everybody.
Yeah.
Which was the best part of it.
That's pretty much all it is. You just go up on those like pointy rocks.
Well, it's good to know that really hasn't changed. That's nice.
Well, people don't really know about it. When I was doing Fisto recently, I was like, everybody up onto the rocks. And nobody wanted to do that. It's like, what are y'all doing?
Come on, guys. We need to This is not going to turn out the way you think it's going to turn out. As soon as those waves come around and you get surrounded, you're going to die. Alright, there you go. You know what I mean? It's like, alright, there you go.
And it had been so long since I played FDL as well, I forgot the strat on the final boss, but Marcus...
Did he pull clutch?
Well, he was trying to. He refreshed us on the strategy, but it didn't really pull together. I
Gotcha.
remembered corner and the healer on bottom after he said something, but we wound up bailing out of it a couple times, and everybody wound up kind of disbanding.
Gotcha.
But I need the clasp for my FT, and then I'm going to need another one for my Priv when I start grinding him.
Well,
So,
we'll definitely be having grind nights coming up.
Yeah, the big thing, if you're going to be getting a bunch of people in, is addressing voice comms, and also I talked to Humphrey because he's a spreadsheet guy. He should be the guy that's making the on Thursday night, making a schedule for everything. Just tentative. It doesn't need to be followed if people don't show up. Oh well, but Thursday night is when we're gonna know by when all the port battles for the weekend are gonna be.
Okay.
So, because 3 days from
Yeah.
the initial flip, so you're gonna know all of your Saturday and Sunday. So those
Yeah.
are fixed points that the whole SOC should be in on, because we should be there. But besides those, you can put slots in like the spreadsheet. Or let's say I need to do FDL, you can put FDL in there for, I don't know, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. and we have a port battle at 3:45.
See,
I don't know,
you're
but,
assuming we're gonna play around port battles. We don't play around port battles.
well,
We
I
don't
mean,
care about
there needs
port
to be a
battles.
good showing.
Again,
Because
there
we're gonna
will
lose
be
to Matt
when
at this rate.
we are. It's already lost. We're taking bets on who it's gonna be, Frenchies or Pirates.
It's gonna be pirate.
Yeah.
You know how many people they have?
Currently, we have 2 to 1. You putting your money on Pirates?
Yeah.
So it's
I
3 to
mean,
1
I was-
currently.
I was in Rackham's Raiders. You know how many experienced people they have?
Oh no, no. Like I said, I in particular don't care. It's just
theirs
who's
unless
it's who's doing the showing right now and who's doing the showing. The Dons are taking an economic break from their push from last map, so it's Pirates and Frenchies who are putting numbers on the map. So, and we know the Brits for a lot of the quote-unquote hardcore Brits have decided to go elsewhere.
I mean, no skin off my ass. I'm only here to learn the national classes. After this map, I'm going back to Pirate. So
Right.
my favorite PvP class by far is Buccaneer. Huh.
See, I always wanted to play a buck, but I ended up leveling up a cut back when I did play on the server Rackham. Back when that was a server. Never really fully leveled up a buck. I want to, and as soon as everything's stabilized and the economy's running and we got a
Bucks have so much spike potential, and just like
Oh,
they're
they-
amazing,
they're mean.
absolutely amazing.
Yeah, they're mean. A naval officer mixed with a free trader combination is a combination of pain.
Fucking
Like, naval officers are ouchies by themselves. Free traders are ouchie
They've
by
got
themselves.
heated, deadly force, cut shroud, another career skill for slowing motherfuckers down.
Right, right.
I didn't even have to fit my ships for speed. I just did armor and damage fit, and you know, people in speed fit would come up to me and like poke at me a little bit and realize they were losing and run away.
Right.
Okay, something's off. I have a mission on one of my tunes that I don't have on another one of my tunes.
It depends. Did one of your tunes complete in optional?
I don't know. Fucking weird. I'm gonna go in.
Because if one completed an optional and the other didn't, there would be your.
I don't know what's going on.
Alright, I'm level 10. Cleared for action. Damning evidence. I need to go get.
I know you have your heart set on Bardica, by the way, but I fleet it SC. And don't take this the wrong way, because I'm not doing that to just be defiant. There is a lot more fleets, more dense in a smaller area.
Oh, no, dude, yeah,
That's
the reason
money right there, and I'm not passing up on that.
Well, see, and that's one thing that, you know, was brought up, and, you know, I was like, yeah, that's a really good point. So what we actually started looking at is putting, like, West End for the pirates over in that area, Charles Fort. Like, actually testing which ones of the ones are better, actually double-checking and making sure that, you know, conventional wisdom that has been stated before is still conventional wisdom, and if it's not, then we got to go figure out what is conventional. Like, what is it, the reality of the situation. So it's more disproving and proving old knowledge bases. So, like I said, from when I played, and from what I have always known, is that pirates drop more doubloons. It's a passive. It's a small amount of. They have an increased loot chance drop. They have increased loot doubloon earnage and XP earnage, as opposed to like 4 nations to kill pirates, not the other way around. It's 4 nats to kill like pirate NPCs. There is a like slight bonus to killing them, as opposed to pirates killing any of the other nations. But pirates also have a lot more cool game mechanics, so, you know, it's a give and take. Like, you guys get the Hidden Cove, and you get the rebuilt system, and you get access to attacking all 3 of the other nations. Like, they're, like, you know, it's game mechanic versus game mechanic. You know what I mean? How a gnat needs to build versus how a rat needs to build. And they do need to be different, because a pirate would not come by his vessels the same way a, you know, somebody from any one of the nations would. So, like I said, it is a genuinely different experience, and it's kind of cool and unique. And like I said, I can't wait to when we jump over to Roberts to experience that fun and very unique pirate gameplay that everybody does. Usually, I like to say it. Usually, fall in love with the pirates, but you stay for the nations. Because back in the day, as good as and we're talking like some of the best pirates to ever sail the seas back in my day, they did not have the advantages, and they had to use like the P-Hercs and every advantage they could get, and they played pirates scary. Like,
well, that was back when the P-Herc was relevant. They nerfed it to make way for the pay-to-win ships.
well, they had to nerf all. I mean, they nerfed all refit vessels for that. They all special vessels, all class exclusive vessels, like all of that got fucking hella. I mean, and that's already gotten. That's on top of its nuke from what you see is what you get from Sony days. Like.
Yeah.
It got beat up, and now we're starting to see them untangle all of it, and it's really kind of nice. It's really nice to figure out what is going to be conventional and what's not. What works now and what truly doesn't. It's like exploring the game for the first time, like I did back when the game first came out, and it's been truly fun.
Yeah, it's all right, I guess. I mean, I don't know which I prefer, the newer old style, but figure it out.
Well,
something's fucked up with my missions when I'm dual boxing. It's not registering completion for my missions. It's just kind of fucking weird.
I would send it into Vision. They've been jumping down on these things, so this is also the second time I've heard of stuff's not registering today. More specifically today. About missions not registering. So you might want to put in a support ticket.
I mean, I already sent them something. Maybe they'll just start working on. It might be a problem with the same reason I got all of the.
Have you tried logging
template shit? Did I send? No, I didn't put up the screenshot and fucking.
Have you tried logging out and logging in? That's the one that. Okay, well, that's the one I always go for because it usually does clear up most issues. I'm not saying it is an end-all be-all to fix the issues, but usually when I'm experiencing something, I log out real quick and log back in, and it fixes it. Oh my lord.
God, I hate these missions. These are the worst.
Some of the beginning missions are very yeah, no, they're bad. Some of
about like the Musketeer ones and fucking Sonya's bullshit.
Oh,
it's so tedious.
Yeah. But
my
then
FT, I still have to get the Lucy figurehead and a couple of other things. But at least Pap and Tortuga are by far the coolest capitals.
Yeah, no, I was
hang out in Pap for a while.
Tortuga is really cool. I liked. Well, what's weird is we were up at Fort Caroline the other day. Like I said, testing out the NPC drop radius and stuff like that. And Fort Caroline is gorgeous, dude.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, I dropped in there and I was like, man, now this is a motherfucking fort. It's gorgeous. Like, us Brits are getting ripped off.
Yeah, we don't have very much that's cool look. I mean, they still did a kind of a good job on Port Royal, but not really.
Well, no,
the docks is the only part that looks like it's interesting. The rest is kind of just boring.
Well, they did a good job of spreading it out, like, and emphasizing, you know, it's supposed to be after the first earthquake, so you have that front sunken dock area. So I get it, but and maybe it's just like my askewed perception because I've always just played Brit. You know what I mean? And that very much genuinely could be the thing where it's just I'm so like everything is so like French is new to me because I always hated the French, and you know you didn't go to a French port unless you intended to attack a French port. You know this is talk. You know we're talking like old school.
Or like clickies and shit.
Yeah. You didn't go to an enemy port and hang out unless you intended to attack it. You know, and that's how you knew an attack was coming, because you'd start seeing a French player show up. You'd see another one, and then another one, and then another one, and then another one, and 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 then you're like, oh fuck, you know what I mean? Like, here they come. This is gonna suck. And yeah. I mean, that's just how it was. And now it's like I see pirates just chilling in Bardica, and I'm like 2-3 days in a row, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? And they're like,
not enough people.
They're like, oh, we'll eventually attack. And I was like, I'd rather you didn't. And they're like, why? And I'm like, because it kind of disrupts the new players. Like, you hit Bart, if you're going to hit somewhere, hit, like, further north or hit Belize. You know?
Well, if they go to the effort to flip Bart, they deserve it, because it has noob decay.
Does it?
They put a lot of effort into
flipping
actually building the points, yeah.
Gotcha.
Those points drop off of those, like all the noob decay ports, they just fall off.
Okay, so what is that? Is a new term? Noob decay?
Yeah, it's like noob ports that are in like the noob areas will lose unrest by themselves.
Oh, gotcha.
So the unrest will quote unquote decay, hence noob decay. So
gotcha. Okay, so and it's also like if new players are actively doing missions, it lowers the unrest as well passively.
I don't think so.
Not anymore. Because there are certain missions that specifically state just lowers unrest. Like, and I'm not talking like there's blockade missions, but I'm talking like if they're like over. I know there's one in Bluefields. Couple in Bluefields, it just passively says lowers unrest.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. But like career missions and shit aren't gonna do it.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking career missions. I'm talking like the actual missions for a port.
But yeah, you can lower unrest as well. That's why it's so hard to flip
Gotcha.
Bardica and ports like that. So if they flip it, they kind of deserve it. Or at least deserve the fight.
Gotcha.
It doesn't really interrupt anything anyway. Let's say they successfully flipped it. All the missions are still available. It's just embarrassing.
Well, it's just 3 days that, you know, like, they're gonna sit there and hit noobs, which is just a fucking asshole move.
Yeah, if they flip Bardica, they're doing it more to send a message than for conquest points.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to hang out there. Nobody hangs out there. Well, the odd fleet group, but even then, more people fleet at SC than anywhere else at this point. Because back in the day, SC used to be so packed you couldn't really even get fleets in edgewise.
Yeah. Well, that's the double up of the natural spawn system and the AI player detection to spawn additional fleets. The more fleets that are hit in an area and the more players that are in an area, the more fleets will spawn. Or that's how it was supposed to be, and for a long time that system was completely busted.
I was kind of lucky because I was chasing down a 12-pack. I clicked off of it to look at an Elite 6-pack, but I decided on the 12-pack because the wind was shitty. I went back to click on the 12-pack, and there's a Spanish 12-pack, and a Spanish resupply fleet spawned, like, basically right on top of it. So I clicked that by accident and tagged it, and I got it, and I was like, woo!
Oh, happy accidents!
Resupply fleet!
Happy accidents! Oh, dude, there used to be a glitch back in the day. And, now mind you, this literally stayed in the game for like 3 months, maybe 4 at tops. It was, what you would do is you needed 2 vessels, and they needed to sit right beside each other, and you had to count down. You go 3, 2, 1. And what would happen is you would split the fleet into 2. So one fleet became 2 fleets, right? Because you've got now 2 separate fights. So one would just sit there in a circle and hold them off for a little while, usually with an alt. He's just, you know, in one direction. And he's actually making money on his other character. And then you jump out, and now you have another fleet ready to jump in, and he jumps out ready to go. He just held a free fleet down for you, and you could just do it. And it's, like I said, it stayed for a short amount of time, but it was a really cool little glitch you could do. Oh. Alright, now that I am done fitting my character, Georgetown. I got 3 missions in Georgetown that were sent, that I was sent to Georgetown from Rosignal. Woo! I spend more time sailing than I do in missions.
You know what are the 2 worst things in this game? Being in a fucking sit group to flip a port, and the free trader career missions. They're so bad, dude. I hate it.
You could just well.
You can't just do anything. You have to sail everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, what I'm talking about is there's a certain avenue you can go where you can talk your way out of having to not do anything, and I think they removed it. But you could literally convince everyone else, like if you had the doubloons, you could just throw doubloons at them and tell them to go away. And pretty much that's how you got through the career missions back in the day. You just...
I mean, that's fine, but either way, you still gotta go every goddamn where, and I hate that.
Right.
Everything I do in this game is with the intent to PvP at some point, so if it doesn't progress that goal, I'm not really about it. And
right.
so having to sit through career missions, especially the FT ones, like the NO ones I can kind of skim through, I think they're kind of interesting. But holy fuck. FT is the worst.
You're gonna
talk to this guy. This guy, talk to another guy. The first guy didn't like what the other guy said. Go back and make the other guy feel good.
Yep.
Fuck. No. One's in Santa Catalina and the other's in Georgetown. Why? I'm not making those trips. No. Fuck that, dude. They can fight about it.
That's the point of being a trader, is that you have to deal with unruly customers. Alright. Take this console. Dauphine. Bah. Whoo! Yes.
But for the sake of simplicity, I think that scheduled things should be scheduled around port battles. That way everybody has the opportunity to participate. Because even if you don't like port battles, like...
There's two opportunities to participate. We'll have the EU time to participate, and we will have the US time to participate.
Yeah, and
That's
if you
what we're
overlap
basing
them
around
all
it.
into port battles, then people who like to do port battles aren't going to be able to do their group missions, and that's kind of shitty. So. And
Not
just
exactly.
because
There's always
there's
gonna be
an EU
another
time
port
doesn't
battle,
mean I'm going to be able to make it.
and it's
Well,
not
port
specifically
battle-
designed for you.
So,
Dude,
well,
that's
I
why
understand
we've
that's part of the end game. That's kind of what people
Homie,
come
we
like.
put out the feelers for a reason, so we can get an accurate time.
Okay.
If people would
Whatever,
actually...
do your thing.
I mean, literally, we put out feelers both in-game and in Discord to get people so we can figure out times approximately when people can play. So once we have that figured out, we will genuinely have an accurate time of when we will be able to get people in and out. And yes, PBs should be taken into consideration. The difference is we are not going to take them into consideration, as we are not a predominantly PvP guild, or society. So no, the players can choose between PBs, which are random things and pop up constantly, or hanging out with us. That's...
So PBs don't... I understand the thought process there, but PBs aren't, like... For some people, they're very important. For me, it's not a massive thing, but it is something that I want to do. But here's the deal, right? You only get a few PBs per day, and most people are only available on the weekend for that. It's not like you can have, 10, 20 PBs a day. You only
And
get
you're
a few,
assuming
like
the
5.
events are going to be on the weekends.
So, well, that's when a lot of the working population's going to be on, right? I've seen more people on the weekend than during the week by far.
You're assuming a lot, homie.
Okay. Well, I guess everybody doesn't have a job, and it doesn't matter, and nobody likes to do PBs, and I'm wrong about it all. Don't worry. I understand.
Or you're not actually getting all the correct information.
I mean, that's cool. You're right. You're right. I'm wrong, and I don't want to talk about it anymore.
See, no, dude, you just don't back up. You don't pick the fight and then run away.
I didn't pick a fight. I was making a very well-educated not decision, but recommendation.
Yeah, well,
you're right.
Normally,
I'm misinformed, and I'm wrong.
Normally, I would agree with you. This would be great advice. But in this current situation, where you're not in a PvP guild, where most people actually do not care about the port battles, they just want to hang out, have a good time in the game. They actively avoid nation. They actively avoid all of that stuff for a reason. That is who the Misfits are. And that is the crowd that you are amongst. That is why I'm stating I think you are quite misinformed, because we're here to have fun. Yes, but most of the time, we're not worried about the PvP aspect, because guess what? There's always going to be another port battle. Always. 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 As long as the game is open, there is always going to be another port battle. That's how it goes. But
yeah,
the people that we are getting to be around is more important.
You have this vision for what you think that everything should look like, and it's cool. I'm not saying that that's wrong at all, but it's and there's no point in me talking about it any further, because you've made your point that you don't want anything to do with port battles, and that's fine.
As of right now,
I'm done talking about it. I mean, as of right any time, that's one of the core critical features of endgame Pirates of the Burning Sea, because people don't fleet and do missions nearly as often as a matter of the fact that they can't, right? At some point you run out of things to do. So, also some port battles are more critical than others in many circumstances. So
very rarely.
If you're not paying attention, or you don't have a plan or a schedule, or you don't know who the port battle leader is, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, and being a misfit, we're not allowed to be a part of these. So like, yeah, and I will
know. You have to know.
They won't tell us. They will not tell us. It would be a different issue if we were actually welcomed. If we were welcomed and not constantly not trapped and unpurposefully killed by our own nation, we'd come. We'd be more willing to throw ships away. We're selective. That is the difference. We want to go when we can guarantee that every single one of our misfits, people we can actually trust, are at our back. We're not going to blindly throw away ships and resources, because that's dumb.
It's so cheap and easy.
It's so dumb.
And if you just follow what the PB leader is trying to accomplish, they won't leave you out of things anymore.
Actually,
you
the
go
PB,
off and do your own thing.
We did follow the PB. That's the worst part, homie. We were following the PB leader. We were literally doing as he asked.
Alright.
But again, you were not there.
That's cool.
I do have the recording.
I mean, it's no skin off my ass either way. I mean, one way or the other, if there's something going on with the sock, but there's like a PB that I know I need to attend, I'm not going to be doing the sock thing. So, that's just how that is.
That's the difference. Is you're more interested in the. This is why, you know, and you take
I know
this as
that
a
my
bad
friend
thing.
is gonna be like that too.
Well, that
And
makes
a
you
couple other
agents.
people as well.
You're selfish players. It's not a bad thing.
I'm not a selfish player. I'm
That
a
is
team
a
player
selfish
like a
no,
motherfucker.
dude. You're taking it so wrong. Okay, selfish means you are for profit. You want to do whatever best suits you. That is That is the definition of selfish. Is you want what is best for you because it is the most pleasurable for you. That is the definition of selfish. In today's
I don't play
society,
video games to work. So like that's the thing is I work at work. A lot of work and overtime at work.
and that is
Because I
that
don't
is
have
you.
because of that I don't have much free time. And so
And
I
we
play this
get
game to
that.
have fun.
Yes.
And that's why
And
I'm
we
not
encourage
gonna
you
be
to go
doing
have
things
fun.
that aren't fun.
And that's what all we do is encourage you to go have fun. You can choose whether or not you want to join us or be at that PB. That's your choice. We're here to have fun with each other. We're a community who wants to have fun and enjoy our time. I have explained this time and time again to you. I'm not saying you're a selfish player and being mean about it. It is just a defining trait of what you are. That's the defining trait of a privateer, dude. A for-profit player. Whoever wants to maximize his most amount of time as he possibly can for his own amount of enjoyment, in your case, which... See? I'm not using it derogatory, dude. I'm being very honest about who you are. Nothing to be ashamed of. I'm a selfish player when it comes to group play. I genuinely enjoy and would prefer group play over any other play. I genuinely hate the concept of PvP. However, it is always on my mind. I am always actually thinking about the PvPers because I myself know normally I would not have taken them into consideration. I actively make sure to think of the PvPers because I'm a society leader and that is my job, is to make sure and maximize everyone's fun. I know PvPers are not going to join the events 90% of the time if there's a PvP opportunity. Regardless. If there's a port flip, you're going to go do that port flip. So instead of restricting and saying, hey, PvPers or PvEers, you have to go join the PvPers because they want to go and do all the PvP stuff, and you cannot be considered in this situation because we have to consider them first because that's the end game. No, that's exactly what you said.
Inconvenient for PvEers than it is.
It is
not like they
no.
Their PvE while the port battle is happening.
And
do a run or two of their mission while the port battle's happening, and then port battle only takes like 20-something minutes, man.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a huge
so why are you throwing a hissy fit about I have to choose? Go off to your port battle for 20, 50, 40, 50 minutes, and then come back, homie.
It's a matter of writing the schedule in a way where it accommodates
everyone
play styles. Yeah, well, the way that you're saying it is like
4 to 8 hours.
I want to accommodate everyone, but I'm not going to accommodate the PvP. I'll be right back. I'm going to smoke a cigarette.
No, I literally am going to make sure they're already being compensated. I don't have to compensate for PvPers. They make their own content. I don't have to compensate for this shit, dude. Like...
back.
Okay. So I think you're expecting me to have to provide a PvP experience, which I do not, which is provided by RVR. So instead of having to work...
anything.
Exactly. What I have to provide is, as a leader, is a PvE experience and an econ to make sure that the PvPers get what they want.
The game provides the PvP. It's all that needs to be done is written in.
No, players provide the PvP. Without player, there's no PvP.
It's cool, you're right.
Dude, literally, if you
I
do
don't
not
wanna
have
continue
players...
the conversation.
Because you don't know.
Because it's going nowhere, that's why.
No, because you think it's going nowhere, and you just want to abandon the conversation because you are unwilling to submit your point.
Well, I already did. I finished my point a long time ago, and now that it's not going anywhere, it's no longer something I want to talk about.
Yeah, because you lost. You want to have... I
didn't lose anything.
No, I'm sorry. Poor choice of word on my part. You didn't... No, you don't... You didn't lose. You don't want to change your thought process because that would admit maybe being wrong.
Not true either, but okay.
Or maybe...
If I'm wrong based on facts or anything that is...
Again,
material, then okay.
All right, here's material. Robert, they decided to be a PvE server, and there is no PvP without players, so they are completely...
Then go over there if you want it.
Oh no!
Like, why are you worrying about this server if what you're not concerned about or not willing to accommodate is...
I am willing to accommodate. PvP. That's the funniest part. You are assuming that I have to accommodate to PvP. I just have to make sure that there is equal opportunity for content for both. I don't have to provide you with PvP anything, but the fact that do, the fact that we support it, and the fact that I actively tell people to go out and have fun in it suggests exactly the opposite of what you were saying. But what I am going to focus my attention on is helping new players level up, training players on how to successfully survive in this game, figuring out and debunking old myths, like discovering the new games and stuff, and last but not least, enjoying my time as I play. So I hate PBs, and I know that there are a lot of other players who also do not enjoy going to PBs. So if I can offer them an opportunity to not go to those PBs that we all know are indeed coming, the PvPers will see, oh, there's an event. It's going to be 4 hours. My PB takes place about 2.5 hours in. I can either show up at the first 2 hours, second 2 hours, or not show up at all. That is on the player. I am offering...
So instead of being convenient, you want to be intentionally inconvenient by scheduling PvE over port battle.
No, I am going to...
That's why I'm saying you're
not at all.
Critical.
Not at all, because I can't plan. You already dispelled your own thing, because I can't plan for that. But I can tell you guys... No, I can't plan for PBs.
Yes, you can.
No, I cannot. I have we have to schedule our events. We have to schedule our events
Thursday night.
3 to 7 weeks in advance right now.
You're doing extra for no reason.
No, you just don't want to put the effort into it. That is the difference.
Every PB time.
You are not a society leader. Okay, no, dude, I don't care. Again, PBs are not our focus. Making sure an opportunity,
society
regardless.
Leader, hooray!
You are a basic solo player who does not.
A basic solo player.
Yes, a solo player.
I don't understand anything about managing communities, guilds. I've never played any games, led any teams, managed any events, been in management at work. I've never done any of that before, so
Yes.
I'm 100%.
That's exactly what I am saying,
You are
Mr.
our
Sassy
Lord
Ass.
and Savior.
Oh my Lord in heaven. Okay.
All right, Lord and Savior, right? The schedules over
Oh,
the
for fuck's
PBs and
sake.
see if any of you're gonna get. See, we don't have people. There aren't even enough people to leave people out. That's the thing.
No,
Is like
dude, you
leave
are just
people
so
out,
arrogant. Wow.
and
Wow,
then
man.
You're not gonna have a good experience. So.
No, in your opinion. That is completely your opinion. That is not a fact. That is no, it is not.
People.
Really? Really? There's not enough people. How many people jump on in and out every day, all day? Do you know? Do you know how many people are jumping in and out all day, every day in our society? On average. Because I can tell you, because I know.
This is getting annoying.
No, it's because I actually know. What? Disrespect, dude. Holy shit. Holy shit.